Hey everybody, I'm Chris Johnson. I've been a Vater artist since 2004. Been playing Vater sticks since 1998. Born and raised in church. My dad was a preacher. I had to do something. I couldn't just sit around, so I got on drums and tried that out. Older brother played, so it was kind of difficult for me to even play until he kind of grew up and then started playing keyboards. Throughout high school, played in a jazz band, marching band, believe it or not. Right out of high school, I wanted to go to college for the first 2 weeks, and then it didn't work out. So a week after that, I got called to do my first gig, which was in '98. And basically been touring ever since. My first gig actually was with a gospel artist named Donnie McClurkin. We did a whole lot of weekend dates, kind of do Saturdays and Sundays and come on. From there, went to Darius Rucker, lead singer of Hootie and the Blowfish. After that, it was like Maya, and then Heather Headley, and then Anastasia, and then Stevie Wonder, did some Seal, Patti LaBelle. During the Stevie Wonder gig, I got a call from Teddy Campbell. He's not a Vater artist, but he's a good friend. But he called and asked me to do a few dates for him because he had to do something else. And I came in rehearsal, nervous as usual, and then he walked in, and then I just, like, other than not ever playing with him, then him just counting off a song and then just starts talking. And then we play about an hour or two, and then we take a break, and me not knowing how I did, because I'm not the guy to just walk up to him, "Hi Stevie, I'm Chris," And so he kind of pulled me to the side and said, "You sound pretty good, man, you sound good. Like, I like what you're doing." And from that point on, I felt pretty comfortable to be myself. And Teddy at that point couldn't do the rest of the dates, and so they asked me to do it, and then I did. And then for about 2.5 years on and off, when he was working, I was on the gig. And no other gig compares to the Stevie Wonder gig. I'm talking about musically, he's arguably the greatest songwriter of all times. Lyrically, every night is touching. Like, I think that's the only gig I literally cried on. Like, just from sitting behind the drums, hearing him sing, and him being so sincere, and just the history of him, a living legend. It has to be the greatest gig I've ever played to date. Funny story. I didn't have sticks. I didn't have drums actually until my first tour, which was at 20. I was 20 years old. I would go to Guitar Center. They have those sticks in a barrel, the cheapies, like $2 a pair or something like that. Would try those, go back to church, and they would break. So I'm a pretty aggressive player, I guess. And so Jamie Gamble said, "Why don't you try these?" In the 3/8 fatbacks, wood tip. And I tried them, fell in love with them, and then I was taking all of his sticks. So he was like, "Man, maybe you should call Chad," and I called Chad up. But Vater just, they just felt right. They lasted longer. my hands like sweat, and so for some reason these sticks just, I guess, absorbs the sweat and it's not like slippery or something. I can't explain it. I don't know how to make sticks and not into the woods and stuff like that. I just know it works, and 3/8 fatbacks work for me and have been, since I've been playing. Growing up in music and playing drums, I was only allowed to listen to gospel music. So no hip hop, no R&B, no jazz, none of that. So, my colleagues, Marvin McQuitty, Calvin Napper, Joe Smith, Mike Newell, that's an unsung hero. He's also a Vater artist. We got Jamie Gamble, you got Nissan. All those guys I grew up around, and like Marvin and all those guys I heard on records, on gospel records. And it wasn't until I would say the age of 21 where I caught wind of a drummer named Vinny Colaiuta. Ever since then, he's been pretty much the biggest influence in my playing. Just not talking to him or not even meeting him, I understand where he's coming from as far as music is concerned. Because of him, I listen to different styles of music because he plays different styles of music, and that's where I want my career to go. I don't want to be Vinny. I just want to be, I want to use his example to help me, in my drumming. But he was definitely the biggest influence in music to me. And aside of my parents singing and playing and all of that good stuff too. So yeah, I would have to say Vinny Colaiuta. If I was to talk to him, I would say thanks for everything. A pleasure just being able to listen to him play over the years.